Hey guys, I am coming to you on, I don't even know what week this is, so I'll put that in the update as usual. So the last time I saw you was like May 27th, which I think was about 2 weeks ago. I was 201.2 for that week, which I'd lost 100, I'd hit my 100-pound mark. The following Tuesday, I actually saw 199.4, so I got under 200. I was in Wonderland. That was exciting, and well, that's the last time I saw 199, and I'll tell you why here. Last week I was traveling. I weigh in on Tuesdays, and I didn't have access to a scale, so I have no idea. I may have still been in Wonderland last Tuesday, I don't know, but pretty much what I did this past week, I knew there was a very good chance I was not going to still be in Wonderland today, and I was right. So, while I was on vacation, I had stuff I shouldn't have, which, I mean, I wasn't totally crazy. I didn't just eat whatever like I normally would on a vacation, but I had some like ice cream, which I just want to say, the sleeve is an amazing thing because before, and if you know me, I love ice cream. I could just live on ice cream. That's my one food. If I was on a deserted island and they said, what one food would you want? Ice cream would be it. So we found a Ben & Jerry's, which we don't have those around here, and I love Ben & Jerry's, so we had to stop. The good thing is where I would normally order like 2 or 3 scoops just for myself, I ordered 1 scoop and Randy and I shared it. So it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good because especially when you do low carb, when you even eat sugar and stuff again, you tend to gain faster. But I knew what I was doing. It's good. So I weighed in today. Actually, I weighed yesterday just to see, because it was my first day home, just to see how much I thought I might have gained, and it was about what I thought. It was like 3.8 yesterday. But I was on track yesterday. I did really well, and when I weighed in today, I was only up 1.2. So I take that. I own it. I'm actually excited that it was only 1.2 because it could have still been the 3.8 like it was the day before, which I think that 3.8 might have also been some water weight and stuff from traveling. My left leg, I showed Randy Sunday night when I took my sock off. You could tell my leg was pretty swollen. So I think I was retaining fluid, and it looks normal today. So I think part of that was that, but even still, 1.2 for some of the things that I had like fish bites that were fried. I actually had ice cream 3 times, which each time I did split with Randy, and I always ordered like 1 scoop or a small cone, whatever it was. But, and you know what's really funny, if you guys, have you seen the video on YouTube where the dogs are splitting an ice cream cone and the little dog gets to go first and he's just licking away, like taking little tiny licks, and then the big dog gets a chance to have some and it just eats the whole thing in one bite? That's kind of like Randy. When I would hand the ice cream cone over to Randy, I would get it back and be like, oh, where'd it go? You know? So I'd make sure I had a few licks before I handed it over to him because I knew I was getting it back like way. I probably didn't even get half, so you know. So like I said, let's see. I gained 1.2 this week. My weight was 200.6, so I am back over the 200 mark. I'm not worried about it. This is probably going to be a long video. I'm just going to warn you now because I'm going to share all of the things that I did on vacation with you. So let's see. On last Sunday, I had to work. I had to work the whole weekend. I got off, usually I don't get off until 1:30 in the morning, but I left at 11:30 Sunday night. Randy picked me up and we left for vacation directly from there. I'd been up since probably 7 or 8 o'clock that morning. So I drove as long as I could, which we were in West Virginia for a long, long time. In case, and if you're not friends with me on Facebook, we went to Myrtle Beach for 3 days, and then we went to Gatlinburg for 3 days. So this is where I'm going. So I drove until probably about 4:30 in the morning through West Virginia. I mean, we were there forever, it seemed like. So finally, I had to pull over because I was too tired. I couldn't drive anymore. I found a like a travel center. It was a really big parking lot, and we just parked the car, laid our seats back, and slept for a couple of hours, and then we continued on. We got to Myrtle Beach probably about 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon, and we stayed at the KOA campground. I got a cabin there. And so we checked in there, and then we went and got something to eat. We walked around some of the stores, and by about 7:30 we were in bed because we were so tired. So then Tuesday we got up, and I had been texting with Rebecca Ann, for those of you know who follow her videos, Rebecca Ann VSG. She said she wanted to see a walking video along the beach. So I made that video, and here's that. This is for Rebecca Ann. She said I had to walk along the beach. So not only am I walking, I'm gonna walk along the beach, I'm walking to the beach from the campground. So I just wanted to share that with you. Keep waiting on rain. Hang on. Here, probably about a mile away when we were on the beach. So we decided to put our shoes back on and walk down the boardwalk so we could get there a little quicker because it's slow to walk on the beach. Plus Randy's got a giant blister on his foot, so he was slow. So we'll show you the boardwalk when we get there. Here's the pier. When we walked earlier, we were way down there. So that day we walked a lot, like the entire day. I mean, not only did we walk to the beach, along the beach, down the main drag to the pier. We did a lot of walking. I can't even begin to tell you how much walking we did. It was a lot. I think I had over 26,000 steps that day, which for me, that's a lot of steps. So after we did our walk, we went to Ripley's Aquarium and walked around there. Here's a couple of little videos that I took while we were at the aquarium.
Looks so fake. Your head looks so weird. It's I want to go with. I want to touch it.
aquarium, I got up the courage to zip line. And it's funny because when you're standing on the ground and you're watching these people go over the water, you're thinking, that's not that high, I can do that. And when you get up there, you're thinking, this is a lot higher than it looked from the ground. I tried to take my GoPro with me and they wouldn't let me because I had like a clip on it and I thought I would be able to clip it to their harness, but they wouldn't let me. And they said if I had like a chest strap, I could have used that, but of course I didn't have that with me. It was back at the cabin and I wasn't driving back to the cabin to get it. So Randy ended up taking a video of me zip lining. So I'll insert that here. Later that evening, we went to, it's called the Wheel. It's like a giant Ferris wheel, but it's enclosed and it's got like climate control and stuff. It was really neat because it was along the water and you could see like the ocean while you were going around. It's funny listening to people stand in line because, you know, a lot of people are afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of heights. I love heights. The higher the better. But to stand there and listen to them talk, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, and I just have to laugh to myself a little bit. And, you know, everybody has their fears. You know, I don't like creepy crawly things. If one touches me, I will scream like a girl, and you would swear I was dying. But it was just funny. So here's a video that I took from the Wheel, and I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit because it goes pretty slow. So Wednesday we decided to go to the beach, and I should backtrack here. The reason we didn't go to the beach at first to swim was because, well, Monday when we arrived it rained the whole day, and then Tuesday they were kind of wanting everybody to stay out of the water because I guess there was a big chance for like riptides and stuff because of the storms the day before. So I thought, well, let's just do other things on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll go to the beach. So we got there, I don't know, probably around 10:30 in the morning, and you know, it was fun, but I didn't stay very long. I'm not one to just sit around. It was kind of boring to me. I mean, swimming was fun and just watching the water, it was nice and peaceful and calm and everything, but I just got bored, like just sitting there. You know, and that's some people, they love that. That's not me. I want to be out doing stuff. But one thing is, you know, I hadn't been to the beach in a while, and the power of the water, you forget how powerful the ocean is. And not only that, but like if you get knocked down, you got to get up quick because the next wave is coming. And if you can't get up quick, you're just going to keep taking it every time the wave crashes over you. And I kept getting on my knees, you know, on the ocean floor to like get myself up quickly, and I'll tell you the sensation of that was like having rug burn on your knees, like it burned. But we had a lot of fun. So after about 3 hours, we left the beach and we went back to the cabin and took a shower and had to get that sand out of unmentionable places, because man, that sand goes everywhere. It is in cracks you didn't even know you had. After we took our showers and got ready, we went to the Brookgreen Gardens. And it's beautiful. I'd been there like when was it? About 2005 was the last time I was in Myrtle Beach. And I'm not going to insert all of my pictures here. I'll just find you a video if you want to see what the place looks like. I'll insert a link and you can go and watch that video. When we first got there, we stopped off at this like big pond just to check it out. And a turtle swam over to us. And it was cute, and it had moss all over its shell. Well, next thing we noticed, movement in the water, and a bunch of turtles like started swimming over towards us. I'd never seen so many turtles in one place before, and they were all just coming over to us. And I was thinking, like, I think they want us to feed them, but I don't have anything to feed you, and I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to feed you. So sorry, but I snapped a picture of one of the turtles. There were a lot of dragonflies at this place. I mean, I had never seen so many dragonflies either. They were everywhere, almost to the point they were almost annoying that there were so many of them. They were just buzzing everywhere, like past your ear and everywhere. I snapped a picture of one of those up close too. While we were in Myrtle Beach, we also played miniature golf a couple of times. Randy and I both love miniature golf, and we're pretty well matched with each other. You know, a lot of times we don't even keep score because it's not really a competition for us, even though we're both trying to beat each other. I think mentally we keep track of who's up by one or so, but we don't really write it down because we're just there to have fun. So on Thursday morning, we packed up the car, and I said, let's go look at the beach one more time, and let's see the sunrise over the water. I always have enjoyed seeing, like, sunrise, sunset with the ocean. So we went down there, and we got to walk along the beach. But we got some pictures that morning, and I'll insert a couple of my favorites here. So after we left Myrtle Beach, we headed to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we probably got there around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We stopped several times along the way and looked at stuff. And we actually stayed in Pigeon Forge, which is right outside Gatlinburg for those who haven't been there. To me, Gatlinburg is really busy, especially when you get close to the weekends. And we actually drove through, I forget what night it was. I think it was Friday night we drove through Gatlinburg. I couldn't wait to get out of there. Like, I'm not a person who likes crowds anyway, and to me, a lot of people are just stupid. I know I shouldn't say that, but there are just dummies everywhere, and stupid people irritate me. Like, they were just walking out in the street, not even at a crosswalk. There were cars like half in a driveway, halfway out in the street. It just really irritated me, and I just couldn't wait to get out of there. I had no desire to stop and shop. It's all kind of commercialized anyway, a lot of souvenir shops and stuff, and I don't buy souvenirs. It just doesn't interest me. So we only, like I said, we only went through Gatlinburg like twice the entire time we're there. Other than that, we tried to go around when we were going places just because I had to avoid it. The second time we went through was like Sunday morning or Saturday morning. I can't remember. And there weren't a lot of people out yet, so it wasn't as annoying then. So, you know, after we got to our cabin, I'm backtrack here. We drove up into the Smoky Mountains. That was the first thing I wanted to do. We were going to go to Cades Cove, which is also one of my favorite places there, but it was like 6:30 in the evening, and it takes about at least an hour to get there, and I was afraid they wouldn't let us in, considering it was going to be getting dark, and I didn't want to take that chance for as far as we were going to drive. So I said, let's just drive up into the Smokies. Maybe we'll go to where the Tennessee and North Carolina border is. Maybe even go to Clingman's Dome. So we ended up going to Clingman's Dome, which is my absolute favorite place. The view is amazing. It's like 20-something miles from Gatlinburg, and once you even get up into the Smokies, the road that you turn onto to go to Clingman's Dome is like 7 miles, and that's like the longest 7 miles ever because the road is really windy. So we get up there and we park, and when you go to Clingman's Dome, the temperature is always like 10 to 20 degrees cooler than like down in town, just because it is up so high. It's like the highest elevation in Tennessee, something like that. So we park, and there's a trail that takes you up to the observation deck, which is, it's a half a mile walk, and you think that's not so bad. But it is bad when you are looking at a incline. It's a very steep incline. It's so steep they won't let wheelchairs or strollers on it. And there are benches along the way. And I've never wanted to try it before because I didn't think I could do it, which I know back then I couldn't have done it. But I said, let's go do this. So I started out and I'm walking fast, and you make about that first turn and you're like the air is thin and the incline is so steep. And Randy struggled a little bit. I had to wait on him sometimes. He would sit on the bench. I didn't sit on any benches. I was afraid if I sat down, I wouldn't want to get back up and keep going. So I just stood while he sat. And, I'm not going to lie, it made me feel a little better seeing the young and the skinny people huffing and puffing going up this hill too. So I thought, I felt like them, and actually it kind of made me realize I'm not as in bad a shape as I feel like I am sometimes, because I was no different than them. They were huffing and puffing just as much as I was, and so a lot of them were actually stopping to sit. And like I said, I didn't stop to sit. I stood if I had to stop, and I probably wouldn't even have stopped if I hadn't been waiting on Randy. But it takes you up to an observation deck, and thank goodness, because all the way up there I kept thinking, I hope there aren't stairs going up to this observation deck, because my knee was killing me anyway. And it wasn't. It was a like a ramp that you took up there. Wait a minute. And the view, they say like if the air quality was better, because air pollution has gotten bad. They say at one time the view was like 100 miles that you could see away, and now it's only like 20 miles. On my way down from the observation tower, there were some kids behind us, and they were probably, there were 3 kids. They were probably aged like 4, 7, and 9 or 10, something like that. And I took a video because it was actually funny to me. I'll just insert the video and let you see what happened. About a third of the way down. Here's some of the view going down. Easier going down than up. Notice I'm not out of breath. And look, Randy's with me. He's not behind me. See where my finger is. There's the car way over there. So that's where we're heading. Okay, so we're at Clingman's Dome, and it was quite a hike going up, and I took video. And on the way down, this kid, him and his sister were running down the hill and stopped and sat on the bench. And I heard him say, "She's fat." I said that. I mean, you know, at one time that would have hurt my feelings, but I thought it was really funny because I really, really did want to turn around and just say, "Oh, honey, you have no idea. Like, I'm nowhere near as fat as I used to be." But, and then I also wanted to say, who's sitting on the bench? You know, I laughed all the way down, made me forget my knee hurt. But this place is beautiful, and I just wanted to share that about the kid because, you know, no matter how far you think you've gone, kids will always tell the truth. So maybe a year from now, I'll stop a kid and ask them what they think, you know, see how far I've gone. All right. So after we got back down to the parking lot, the sun was setting, and I said, let's just watch the sunsets. And I'll tell you what, if you're ever at Clingman's Dome and you have the chance to see the sunset, definitely stick around and watch that, even if you have to wait an hour to see it. It was beautiful. I took some pictures. I don't know if I actually took video. I think I mostly took pictures, and I didn't have an actual camera with me because if I had, I probably could have had much better pictures, but I just had my iPhone with me. And there were a lot of people there sitting in chairs with big cameras to take pictures. But it's something everyone should experience at least once if you have the chance. It was beautiful, especially when the sun was just going over the tip of the mountain and it was casting like shadows on the other tops of the mountains. It was just beautiful. So on our way back down, we did stop off at the Tennessee, North Carolina border and snapped a picture real quick. The sun was definitely, it was getting dark, and you know, we're at the top of a mountain, so it was light there, but as soon as you go down into the mountain, into the trees, it was pitch black. And you know, it's a very windy road, so you have to be careful. We saw like 3 coyotes run across the street in front of us. I mean, like, not where we had to slam on our brakes or anything, but you saw them. We're like, well, check that out. The last time we were there, it was about 5 years ago when we saw this. A couple of bears crossed the road in front of us, and that was cool to see. On Friday, we got up and went to Dollywood. The last time we were at Dollywood was when we got married 5 years ago, and I was just too heavy. I couldn't ride any of the rides. It was kind of boring to me because all we could do was walk around. I think I rode the train and we watched some shows. But this time, I rode like every ride there was. And there was one ride that Randy couldn't ride because he's so tall, they couldn't get the restraints over his shoulders. So I rode it by myself. But it was fun, and my favorite ride was called Barnstormer, I think is what it's called. That thing was awesome. I rode it. I just kept getting on and off. Like, I'd go get back in line. Randy only rode it like once with me. And what's really funny is I've never seen Randy like this before because Randy usually loves all the rides that I love. He loves the roller coasters, but I look over at him and he's gripping the seat, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Mm-hmm." And he was actually afraid because I mean, you know, you do feel like you're coming up out of your seat when you get to the top, because I mean, it's like a giant swing and you're looking down and it goes pretty fast. Like, it doesn't look like it in the videos. Because I'll post a link down below, but it was an awesome ride. It was just very thrilling, and I probably would have rode it again, but I think the lady that was like checking our straps was probably thinking like, "Are you just gonna stay here all day?" Because like, I rode it like 3 or 4 times in a row, and Randy got a picture of me when I was like up at the top, and you can't really see me. I was like, you should have zoomed in, because I was just like, yeah, you know. But it was just pretty awesome. Another ride that we rode was a roller coaster called the Flying Eagle, I think is what it was called. And it really kind of reminded me of Banshee from Kings Island, except you're out, like, on the sides.
Welcome back, flyers. How was it out there?
In case you want to see what it's like to ride the rides and stuff, I'll give you, like, links for, like, front row seat rides. And they have a new ride called Lightning Rod. And when we first got there, it was closed. And they said that there may be days it won't be open because they're still testing, stuff like that. Well, later in the afternoon, we were walking through, and I said, "Is that open?" And he said, "It looks like it." So I said, "Let's go see if we can get on it." So the line, it took about 45 minutes to get on the ride. Man, I'll tell you what, that ride was so cool. Like, you know how normally when you go up the hill before you go down on a roller coaster, it's kind of like dun, 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 dun. This thing just went whoosh, like right up the hill and over, like you didn't even have time to think about it. And then you felt like, and it was actually a little scary to me because, and they said that you would feel like you were coming out of your seat like 10 or 12 times during the ride. But you know, my fear is when they close us into these seats, is my fat gonna shift? Because I mean, really what it is it's all fat in the front, and like, you know, plus since I've lost weight, it's kind of deflated, and I'm afraid it's going to shift around, and I'm not going to be as secure as when they first put me in. So I was kind of gripping the seat every time we were going over these hills, and you were literally coming up out of your seat. I kept thinking, this is going to be the time I'm going to come up over this bar, and this is going to be it. Because I think they said it's the fastest wooden roller coaster in the United States. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, because we thought the Beast was the fastest wooden roller coaster, but I think we looked it up, and the Beast is about 7 miles an hour slower than this one. But it was a pretty cool ride. I think if I rode it again, I probably wouldn't be as afraid, because I think deep down, you're not really going to come up and like fall out of it. But the sensation was there, and since I hadn't ridden it before, I was afraid I was going to come up over that bar. But like I said, it was a great day. I'll post links down below for all the rides that we rode, because I don't know, if you're like me, I go to YouTube and just watch roller coaster videos and stuff. So Saturday we did a bunch of different stuff, but the only thing worth mentioning, and I'm almost at a half hour here, so I'm going to pick up the pace. We went to a place called Goats on the Roof. It's a mountain coaster, and I knew going down there that I was going to ride this ride, and I did take my GoPro with me this time, and I had the chest strap in case they said anything, and I was able to get a video of that, and I'm going to speed it along so that it doesn't take as long, because all the way up the hill it's a pretty slow going process. But we rode it twice, because the first time was like $15, and then you got to ride it again for $5, so I thought, well, Mom, pay $5 and ride it again. The second time down, I just kept I didn't even touch the brake. I just kept it forward the whole time, and it was awesome. You know, it was just awesome. Monday we packed up and, you know, we're going to head home. And there were a couple things I wanted to do before we left. And one of them was they had this giant balloon. We saw it on the way into town, like hovering above the trees. And it's like on a big steel cable. And I said, we totally have to do that before we leave. Takes you up about 400 or 500 feet in the air. And so we stopped and did that, and I got some pictures and video of that. The only thing I would have liked better is, because to me I felt like I wasn't that far up. You know, other people would probably feel like that's high enough. I would have liked to have gone at least twice as high, and instead of going up slowly, it would have been cool if they just, like, you know, lets you just fly on up, you know, but it doesn't work like that. But you just kind of hang there for about 5 minutes, and then they bring you back down. And then after that, we just, I stopped at a candy store and bought taffy for my employees, because I told them I don't buy souvenirs, but I'll bring you some taffy. So I stopped and got a bag of that, and then we headed home, and we probably got home about 6 p.m. Sunday night. So all in all, it was a great trip. I wish I could rewind time and do it all over again, but you know, gotta go to work, make the money, so I can plan my next trip. One thing I forgot to mention was when we were in Myrtle Beach, I actually thought maybe I'd go parasailing, because I've always wanted to do that. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know, because my goal trip is to go to Universal Studios to see the Harry Potter stuff. And I figure we're going to get to Florida eventually, and I think I'll do the parasailing when I get to Florida, because I'll be lighter then, and I think maybe the straps and stuff won't hurt as much. Plus, you know, I don't want to do everything all at once, so you got to spread these things out. So, all right, well, thanks if you made it this long. If you watched the whole video, thanks for staying with me and sharing my trip with me. And I will see you guys probably in a couple weeks. All right, bye.